speech is on vaccinations. Vaccinations can raise many questions for new parents. Most wonder if they are safe for their child. No parent wants their child to be in danger of a sickness or weird reaction due to immunizations. But is there that big of a risk with complications, or can there be an even greater risk with not getting vaccinations at all? Some of the most serious accusations made against vaccinations are the risk of autism. Are vaccinations safe? According to an article by Stacy Kelfman titled "Vaccination Schedule for American Children is Safe," declares that the typical American child receives 24 immunizations by the age of 2. Some parents are questioning if this is the best way to prevent disease or if it is an overload of the immune system, making it vulnerable for vaccination-induced reaction. According to Alfred Berg, a family medicine professor at University of Washington in Seattle, extensive scientific literature review found no evidence that the childhood immunization schedule is not safe. Some parents still want answers. One parent in particular says her son was developing normally and then had a severe reaction to the hepatitis B shot. He had a fever, diarrhea, and high-pitched scream. When symptoms subsided, she said her son's development stalled and he was diagnosed with autism. Autism's cause is unknown, and most in the medical community argue that no evidence links to vaccines. Is also stated in the article published by Contra Costa Times, January 17, 2013, by the Sears Issues researcher. However, most parents agree that vaccinations' pros outweigh the cons, since little percentage of children vaccinated have reactions and the majority of immunized are protected from deadly diseases like hepatitis B, rubella, measles, smallpox, and polio. Most people are still getting their children vaccinated in the United States. However, a measles outbreak in 2003, according to an article titled "Vaccination Rates Stay High in the U.S." by Aaron Brown, had people questioning the reason. The federal government aims for 90% of children vaccination rates, which nationwide Americans are reaching that goal for measles. Less than 1% of children in the United States did not receive any vaccinations. A report provided information on the 159 measles cases reported this year. Most cases were import associated, meaning that it was already acquired outside of the U.S. This article was published by Los Angeles Times, September 15, 2003, from Sears Researcher. The outbreak in measles in 2003 served as a reminder that imported measles can turn into larger than normal, especially in areas with unvaccinated persons. Okay, in 2010 to 2013 school years, 4.3% of children were excused from required vaccinations in Colorado. In the article, "A Booster Shot for Vaccines" by Donna Bryson and Betsy McKay, a spike in case of whooping cough in the state and measles around the country has the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment considering new rules for vaccinations. One possible change would require parents to undergo counseling on benefits and risks of vaccinations before they can outrule their kids from vaccinations. Immunizations are an incredibly important public health intervention, says Rachel Hurley, chief of the State Health Department's Immunization Section. This article was published by the Wall Street Journal on January 6, 2014, from the Sears Researcher. Vaccinations are very important. They prevent people from getting potentially deadly diseases like pertussis, whooping cough, measles, and German measles. In the article, "Keeping Up with Vaccines" by Michelle Meadows mentions the symptoms of whooping cough. Pertussis is a bacterial respiratory illness that causes severe coughing attacks and fatigue that can last for weeks or even months. The disease is spread by close contact with infected air or respiratory droplets. The whooping cough vaccine was introduced in the 1940s and led to a marked decline in cases and deaths in the U.S. Continued vaccines is still very important because whooping cough still exists. Vaccines help create antibodies against certain diseases. They are an important part in the body's defense against foreign substances. Measles is another disease that is important to get vaccinated against. It is a highly contagious viral disease. Before the measles vaccination was made available in 1963, there were around 450,000 cases and an average of 450 deaths reported each year in the United States. Symptoms of measles include a rash, and if it becomes septic, can cause hallucinations, seizures, brain damage, and death. This article was published by the FDA Consumer on January 2007 from the Sears researcher. German measles is also known as rubella. If contracted by a pregnant woman, could possibly result in a miscarriage, or the baby could be born with serious birth defects. It is smart to have women get vaccinated before becoming pregnant. Vaccinations are meant to protect and preserve human life. Without immunizations, the United States and the world would suffer many more deaths from deadly diseases. There might be a small percentage that result in complications, but overall the benefits of vaccinations outweigh the bad. Done.
6:05.
Okay.